I'm the scat man. I'm the scat man.
I never know if it's like live, you still dancing, or if it's
I'm dancing like that in the background.
Producer
100%.
mix clip. Welcome.
You know what
to
he's got to
NHL.
do? He's got to get your face and your mouth to move in that intro.
Oh
Your
yeah,
face out.
yeah. We need to give Nick more work. He's too busy designing
Nice.
T-shirts right now. Welcome to NHL Puck Props presented by Sports Interaction with 14-year NHL vet Carlo Colaiacovo. Coming in bright here on my video, something I might have to adjust, but we'll figure that out. We'll update on the old computer. I think I'm messing up on me white balance, but let's go. People are buzzing in the chat, and we got afternoon stacks today, right? And
yes.
Today's afternoon stacks are pretty wild because you get two in Florida with Barkov and Reinhart, and then Verhaeghe and Tkachuk. And then the way they set things up in Dallas, because they play PP1 and PP2 pretty similar, we're getting a full line of Seguin, Duchesne, and Marchment stack.
We are?
Big plus money. And then Hintz and Ben for a pair. And then Robertson and Johnston for a pair. So there's actually 5 stacks in today's game.
5 stacks in today at 2:00?
Yeah, which is scary because it's kind of, it could be a low scoring game, right?
I don't know.
But that's the stacks. That's the thing. You hear people like, oh, I didn't play that one. I didn't play this one. You don't get
How about
to
the
choose.
Anaheim stack yesterday? 1 goal and we catch it?
I don't know how you guys reveal the stacks. So like, I'm not watching every game live. So I have an update on another app that will let me know when a goal scored. And then I'll jump over to the NHL app. And then you do the thumb on the face.
Very slow, very slow.
And you start to know who the guys are.
Yeah.
That looks like, you can tell, like Cole Caulfield's giant head. You can tell immediately, right?
Yeah.
You're like, that's Cole Caulfield. And the guy's been on fire. That game was good. Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki for a tandem point for plus 150 is absolute robbery right now for how they're doing. You did the game last night.
Yeah.
We missed the McMichael point, but he's also lighting it up. What'd you see from that game last night?
Well, what I saw was a mess. I mean, the game was 0-0 in the first period, and I ended up seeing 9 goals in the game. And, you know, the thing about Montreal is obviously a lot of their offense is going to be driven by their top players in Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slafkovsky. But with all the goals that they're giving up, they're finding themselves in these very, very high-scoring games because, you know, they're giving up a lot, which means they're probably going to get a lot too. And McMichael looked on. I can't believe McMichael didn't get that power play point for us yesterday. There was a sequence in the second period where he had a one-timer off the face-off. Then there was a big scramble net. The puck spit out to him. He went in, took a slap shot. Primo on his back made a Dominic Hasek save. And then the rebound went to Ovechkin. Ovechkin went to shoot it into an empty net. He hit the post. And I'm like, how did McMichael not get his power play point on this? And in the third period, they had a 5-on-3, all kinds of chances.
He had a shorty taken back too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Guys on fire. Couldn't get the PLD assist or point at all, which is sad. We got the Wilson points, we got the McMichael points, but that stack almost came through. That one's paying big bucks. Makes sense to stack everything. And it's the thing, right? Like our personal bias make us not want to. I wouldn't have bet that plus 185 Killorn, Gauthier, and whoever the third one is.
Carlson, isn't it?
No, it's
McTavish.
Killorn. Let me know, who is it? I like the smaller slates. I do too. Today's a good slate. I like the late ones. We'll look through some things, but just for some points, just for some props, not out of the stack world, right out of the gate. Finland, Florida, Dallas. Pick 'em. Total at 6. Games at 2.
Oh, Zegras was the other guy.
Oh, sorry, Zegras. Thank you. Yeah, that's the third one.
Yeah.
Let's go, Miro Heiskanen in there for an assist at plus 120. We'll take a Finn. We'll play that angle. He's playing 26 minutes a game. He's up there in like the top 10. but he's not even number one. Like Cale Makar, I think, is somewhere. And Sergachev, I think Sergachev's playing like 29 minutes a game, which is bonkers town. But here we go. Playing a whopping 25 minutes, got the finish angle, 3 assists in his last 2 games, 2 on power play points. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of points scored. What's your take on this? And this is also a Dallas team that hasn't played since October 26th.
Really?
That's a long time. Like,
yeah.
I've asked, we talked about it in the last one, and those games were ugly, but I wasn't, that was what, Buffalo and New Jersey, right?
Yeah, that was early in the season. But I mean, like, the thing about this time of year is that, like, and we've been making a lot of money in the stacks because you're seeing a ton of offense across the league. That's normally the trend early in the season, you know, with the first 10 to 20 games, is you're seeing a lot of the offense click. There's gonna be sort of you know, a struggle bus point here that enters, you know, midway through the season. So we might as well take advantage of it while it's hot. And I kind of feel the same about this European game, where at the beginning of the season, it's the first game of the year. Guys are, you know, Buffalo didn't even have a training camp, neither did New Jersey, right? Because they were there
they played,
so early.
all of their exhibition games were gone, right? Like, they had a B team playing all the exhibition games.
Yeah, because those guys were all there like a week early. So I would imagine at this point in the season, both teams being 10 games in, you kind of feel like you're caught up and you're in game shape, that it shouldn't really matter where the game is played. At the end of the day, you're talking about 2 teams and 2 great offenses. And I'm not sure if the Dallas, I'm not sure if the Dallas, you know, layoff will help or hurt them in this, but you got to go with offense. You're losing if you bet an under in a game right now because of how crazy the offenses are clicking.
Yeah, I'll bring up the quick stacks here for this game. I'll put them out later, but this is what's in my account right now. Jamie Benn and Rupi Hintz plus 250.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
The Duchesne, Marchment, and Seguin triple stack plus 550, which really makes that plus 850. Which makes that plus 850 look gigantic last night.
Yeah, no kidding.
550 is a big number. 850 is huge. Kachuk and Verhaeghe plus 150. Now you're back in normal territory. And then Reinhart and Barkov at plus 128. That's where we are.
Okay.
On those 5 stacks. So one thing you want that triple, or the big one you want is, which is a very good price as I scroll through it. Apologies. The Ben and Hintz one at 262 at plus 250. That's a big one. We'll take it. Next game up. Let's go. Stack some early money. Roll it over.
Picks here. I'm pulling up your picks. Okay, go ahead. Go.
Winnipeg, Columbus plus 160. Not playing that. Just saying that's what the money line is. Over under sitting.
Is that Columbus at home again?
Yeah. I know. I got another dog money line because we've been running good with them. The San Jose one was a good one, plus 125.
Yeah,
that game was going to be close regardless. No one was going to blow that game out. Plus 125. Get out of here.
I agree.
But no, we ran our luck well with Columbus. But now we're going to bet on some offense in this game. We're going over 6, flat 6, minus 118. Starting to take a little bit of money here. This is the number 1 and the number 7 offense with Winnipeg at 4.6 goals per game. That's crazy. And even Columbus at 3.89, combined 14 and 6 to the over. These two teams come into the game 7-3 over under in their last 10.
Wow.
Both penalty kills outside the top 10. That's what we like about it. Connor Hellebuck isn't the guy we saw in like the first week. Same with Shesterkin. I mean, they've come down. They've become an average, let's say, to their standards, an average goaltender. So we're on the over, and then we have to stag. We have to get something with Kyle Connor because no player in hockey is hotter than Kyle Connor. He has a point in every game. He has 7 points in his last 3. The guy is shooting. We couldn't get his power play point somehow last game, but he finished with 3 points. We're taking him and Velarde for a point, stacking just the 2 guys. Plus 126. Why? Just the 2 guys? Mark Scheifele's got a point total of 1.5. They've moved Scheifele's point total to 1.5.
Not Connor's?
But not Connor's.
Wow. That's value there. Take it
Yeah,
while you
no,
can
yeah.
get
So
it.
we'll take the two of them. I don't mind the three stack if you can do that, but I'm going to take just these two at plus 128, 11 points. It is what, 4 straight games. He's got 11 points. He's got multi points in 4 straight as well, and he's got a point in every game this year.
Yeah.
Okay, you were kind of nibbling there on Columbus. You think we can see two-way scoring in this game?
Absolutely, we could. Absolutely, we could. I mean, because Columbus, regardless of who they're playing, they don't get scared of their opponent. And maybe, it's because teams underestimate them and look for maybe an easier game. And they definitely aren't signing up for that. So they can score. Columbus can score. And obviously we've seen so can Winnipeg. So I absolutely like the over in this game. I tell you right now, at least for another 10 games, I'm not comfortable touching any under in this league. Any under. And even if games do stay under, I watched the game 0-0 in the first period yesterday, and they scored 9 goals afterwards. Like that's how crazy things can fall apart.
Just trying to bring up the over-under trends here at Covers. NHL betting trends. Let's see what we got. Over-unders. Non-overtime games or overtime games. Overs are just 53%.
So it's
So,
pretty even.
yeah. I mean, but it's maybe the books have adjusted on the actual totals
again,
themselves. Not seeing sevens.
A game like with two teams that can score, I wouldn't feel comfortable betting the under. Simple as that. Right? Like with the Columbus, the way they can score. I know the Islanders simply can't score. That's why they won 2-0 the other night. But a team like Winnipeg that has the number 1 power play in the league and can score 5-on-5 the way that they do and click in the way they are to start the season. I like this over. I like it a lot, actually.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. But we can get a push on the Winnipeg win 5-1-2, right? Like that's in play. We've seen them do that as well. So we go from that game with a stack, though, Connor and Velarde plus 126 in the over. And we go to Ottawa. Rangers.
Wow.
Let's
This
go
is your
Ottawa
plus
money
money
line.
team?
Ottawa money
This
line.
is your
Let's
plus money team.
go.
Okay.
More dogs. More dogs. Let's go. Plus 160. If you're scared, take the Ottawa team total over 2.5 at minus 130. That's not a bad play there. You know why? This is a team that scored 4 goals and has lost in 2 of their last 6 games.
Yeah, that's true.
This team can score. This is one of the best offenses in hockey. This is one of the best power plays in hockey. And the Rangers, we've seen Shesterkin. Shesterkin's allowed 10 goals in his last 3 games with 97 shots seen. If you're a Rangers fan, it's the same thing. This Rangers team gets bailed out by Igor constantly. They give up a ton of quality chances. And Ottawa, you want to talk about an advantage in a team on the road where you don't get last change? How about that Norris Batherson line and Giroux that just keeps popping?
Yeah. They've been really, really impressive. And the good thing is to see Norris healthy and producing, right? This guy's been through a lot. So
Tim Powell taking shots at the Islanders and Patty Roy. NHL overs are 53% on the season. The Islanders are the other 47%.
Yeah.
That team's hurting today, and I'm waiting to see the lines on that. So we jumped away from the Winnipeg game. So that top line, not adding Scheifele to the stack, just Connor and Connor and Velarde there on the stack. Columbus still that top line. Marchenko, Chinnikov, Monahan. That's the top line stack there. Ottawa, you get the double stack. You get Kachuk and Stützle. That one's getting real short, but the best one and the most money-making one is Norris and Batherson, who's plus 186 today, just because it's the Rangers and they're big dogs. And then the Rangers, you got to take. How is the Zibanejad still, like, he's getting a lot of heat online. You guys got like guys like Sean Avery who are just pointing out like how poorly he's playing game to game. And nothing changes. Nothing changes for the Rangers. They run the same 4 out on the power play, the same lines. Is this job as safe as it's like any other skater in hockey?
Who, Zibanejad?
Yeah.
I mean, like
bring in Laffy. Put Laffy on that top power play.
Yeah, I think Laffy will push his way into that top 6 eventually. It's inevitable. into that top line. It's inevitable considering how much better he's getting. But I don't know. I'm not willing to hit the panic button on the Rangers just yet. Got to remember, this team knows it's good, and they've shown it early on in the season. They know they've got a goaltender that can bail them out of a lot of games, even if they don't play their best. And you got to think when teams like that go into a season with that mentality, it's all about playoffs for these guys, and they just want to find a way to get there and get there while, going through the motions a little bit, I would think. But
so a Friday night, letting the Sens squeak a plus 160 money line.
Well, the thing I like about this value here is you got Olmark right now, who's coming off of his best game as a Senator, right?
Third game back, I think, too, right?
Yeah, and we talked about, the Senators in their last game against St. Louis, where they were coming off of that long Western road trip, and that's always like the quicksand type of game for players. They didn't make it known that they were swimming in any type of quicksand because they absolutely steamrolled the Blues, and now you think they're coming into a game, and I think historically the last couple of years Ottawa has played well in New York. Just trying to go to head to head here.
All right, you bring up the head to head.
Yeah, so head to head, Ottawa has won 3 of their last 5 matchups. So, and you always like to feel more confident when picking a team that's rolling right now offensively like they are.
2 of the last 3 at MSG, by the way.
Yeah.
That's where it is. All right.
That's where it is.
That's what we're dropping here on the show today. I'm going to get Carlo out, but I'll try to do a quick rundown of these stacks before we hit the see you later button. So early game, Barkov, Reinhart. That's your first stack. Second stack, Verhaeghe and give it to me. And Tkachuk. Those are your 2 stacks for Florida. Dallas. It goes, we already mentioned it. It's the Duchesne, Marchment, Seguin line. That's the big one. It's Hintz. It's Ben. That's the other one. It's Robertson and Johnson is the other one. The Jets, we're going no Scheifele. We'll go Velarde and Connor. For the Blue Jackets, we go the top trio of Marchenko, Chinnikov, and Monahan. This is all off the top of my head. Jesus, I impress myself sometimes. Ottawa, Stützle, Tkachuk. The first one, second one, Norris Batherson. And then the Rangers, Kreider and Z. That's the only one I do like because of Panarin's point is 1.5. The Islanders, they can just go F themselves. I don't care. But I will get it, but I don't know what it is because they keep losing. They don't score, and they don't know what lines are coming out. Buffalo, just one. Peterka and Tage Thompson. The Lightning, just go with Point and Gunsel because too much money on our man Kucherov. The Wild, Boldy and Eck. And then on the other side, I'd take Kaprizov for an assist. And then, what's his name? Come on, Josh Zuccarello. That's who plays with him. The Devils, still just one. Old Hughes and Bratt. And then the Flames, you might have that full line of Sharon Govich, Kuzmenko, and Huberdeau that correlate. It's not a sexy one, but they could score versus the Devils and it wouldn't be a bad one. So those are the correlations. Those are the stacks. I'll put them out later. Thanks for being there for us. Hot week, stacking stacks, stacking chips, stacking units. Let's go. Thanks to everybody there in the chat. We'll see you back here Wednesday, 10 a.m. Appreciate it. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo. This is NHL Puck Props presented by Sports Interactions on Covers. We'll see you back here next week.
Have a stacked weekend.